rain on and off through around the middle of the afternoon. I'll show you when it gets heavier and how much rain we could see total.
Duke Energy protest, a rally against the energy company raising power bills and expanding fossil fuel generation. The company's response and why protesters want Governor Josh Stein to step in. Slowing down speeders. A new bill supports the use of an AI system that could block bad drivers from flooring it. A look at the new technology as lawmakers try to crack down on excessive speeding.
Well, a few showers will continue this afternoon, but heavier rain rolls in tonight. Plus, tomorrow will be a WRAL weather alert day. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Chris Levingood.
And I'm Laura Levine in for Renee Chu right now. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with how this could really impact our morning commute, Elizabeth.
It looks like, as Chris said, that we're going to see the rain really picking up in intensity. It'll be a lot more widespread tonight, and that will carry over into tomorrow morning, all through the morning commute, and probably into the early part of the afternoon. So what we're expecting tomorrow morning is widespread rain. Some of it could be heavy in pockets, and so that could cause some delays for the morning commute. We could have extra accidents. You may want to plan a little extra time in the morning heading out the door. Fortunately, we're not expecting any severe storms, but there could be some rumbles of thunder and some gusty winds. This is a look at the next weather maker. You can see our cold front up to the north and west. That's the cold front that will help to bring us more widespread rain tonight and into the day tomorrow. It's a fairly slow mover, so we'll watch it moving in. Here's a look at dual Doppler 5000 radar. Already starting to see some radar echoes here over Chatham County, parts of Durham and Orange County, Person County, and up near the Virginia line, including Mecklenburg County, Virginia. All of this will gradually sink southward, but it is going to be patchy and light for today. Today's not the day that we'll end up seeing the very heavy rain. Here's Futurecast as we head through the afternoon, and you can see the scattered showers across the area. There's 1 o'clock, maybe around 2 or 3 o'clock we have this band that moves in, but as it does, it kind of weakens also. I don't expect there to be a lot of rain for the evening commute tonight or tomorrow night for that matter. Our commute, the big issue is going to be the morning. Here's a look at this evening, though. You can start to see some of that rain that'll be heading in, and we have an 80 to 90% chance of rain tonight. And again, it should taper off or at least start to ease up a little bit by the middle of the afternoon tomorrow. We do have the potential for some good, welcome needed rain. I'll show you how much it could be coming up.
All right, we'll come back to you in just a bit for your full forecast there, Elizabeth. Well, new right now at noon, protesters are rallying against Duke Energy outside the governor's mansion. And the goal is to put a spotlight on rising power bills and fossil fuel expansion.
Yeah, we have WRAL's Liz McLaughlin following this story. She's joining us live. And Liz, this protest comes as regulators approve a merger that could change how electricity is delivered in North Carolina.
That's right. A lot going on in the state right now. This rally's been underway for about 30 minutes now. You can see behind me some speeches. We're hearing from scientists, former EPA officials, some hurricane victims. And this group says that they plan to block the entrance to the governor's mansion, risking arrest. We're seeing Capitol Police showing up on the scene right now. Organizers say that their message is to Governor Josh Stein to take a stronger stance against Duke Energy's plans for new natural gas plants and delayed retirement of coal plants. I spoke with organizer Jim Warren about why protesters say they felt compelled to take action today.
We're here because extreme weather is devastating people across North Carolina, and the global climate crisis is accelerating, and yet Duke Energy is greatly expanding fossil fuels. We think that is a crime against humanity, and we are here to demand that the governor stop being its accomplice.
And this protest comes as the North Carolina Utilities Commission recently made a decision to pause all solar projects in the state. About 770 megawatts were planned. That's enough to power about 130,000 homes, or roughly the population of the entirety of Wilmington. Now, Duke Energy declined to the opportunity for an interview today, but I've spoken with them about their decisions to expand fossil fuel resources, and they say that's because they need to meet growing demand from industrial users, including data centers, and they need more baseload generation to do that, and that includes delaying the retirement of coal plants and expanding natural gas. Live in Raleigh, I'm Liz McLaughlin, WRAL News.
We're following some breaking news here in the WRAL Live Center. Just within the last couple of hours, we've learned that CNN founder and pioneer of cable news, Ted Turner, died today. Ted Turner Enterprises making the announcement within the last couple of hours. The media maverick and philanthropist founded CNN, a pioneering 24-hour network operation back in 1981. He revolutionized television news. He went on to launch other cable operations, including TBS and TNT. Of course, TBS was the first superstation in the country. He also owned the Atlanta Braves at one point. He was married several times, most notably to actress Jane Fonda.
An 18-year-old woman has died from injuries from Sunday's mass shooting in Oklahoma. At least 22 other people were hurt. Their injuries range from a bullet graze wound, injuries from shrapnel, as well as gunshot wounds. Authorities are not releasing any suspect information on the shooting, though. That happened after there was some kind of fight that broke out during an unsanctioned party. Many of the people who were injured were not even part of the argument or the fight. A woman caught on camera chasing a young dirt bike rider down a sidewalk in Washington State and says that she doesn't even remember this happened.
This lady's crazy.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office released this video you're seeing here, and you can hear a neighbor as the driver is turning around and follows the dirt bike down the sidewalk. Now, the rider was not hurt. I want to be very clear with that. Deputies located the driver who first told them that she had not been drinking or consuming any drugs, but later changed her story and then tried to kick a deputy during her arrest, according to investigators. She has since been charged with first-degree assault and DUI.
A Detroit firefighter is being hailed a hero after pulling a woman from a burning SUV, but he says that he was just doing his job. The dramatic moments here were caught on video. A 52-year-old woman was a passenger in an SUV, which caught fire after a crash involving a truck. The firefighter says he tried to open up her door to get her out, but it was locked. But that didn't stop him.
I heard her screaming just to help, I look at, I'm from here. I look at all these citizens like family members. So I look at it's like my own mom's in there.
The victim suffered multiple fractures, third-degree burns, and internal bleeding injuries that required several surgeries. Her family says she's on the road to recovery and credits the medical staff for their expert care. The family also says the Detroit firefighters deserve more recognition because they are real heroes. Winter is making a comeback in parts of Colorado. Drivers around the Denver metro area saw rain Tuesday night change over to heavy snow. That left drivers with slick roads to navigate into the morning rush hour. Forecasters say Denver can expect between 3 to 6 inches of snow by the time the weather system moves out later today.
It's halfway through May. This shouldn't be happening, but I don't have to leave till around noon tomorrow, so I'm hoping the roads are cleared up a little bit better.
I wish I could just poof, just I don't even got to drive anymore. I wish I could just get there,
Beginning of May. Oh my goodness. So classes were canceled today for several school systems.
Now, we are tracking the potential for much needed rain through tomorrow, and it comes without a big severe storm threat. Meteorologist Chris Michael shows us the key reason why in today's Ask the Meteorologist.
The severe weather threat over the next couple of days is going to be focused well to our south, especially today as you head into parts of Mississippi and Alabama. But here at home, we actually get some much needed rain without the severe weather. In order to get severe storms, we go by this acronym SLIM, which stands for shear, lift, instability, and moisture. And we break each of those components down in more detail on WRAL.com if you search Ask the Meteorologist. But you see that question mark next to instability? That's your thunderstorm fuel. What's limiting that is something that's called a cap or a capping inversion. Think of it like a soda bottle. If you shake it up, if there's a cap over it, well, the fizz isn't going to go out of the bottle, right? It's going to be limited. That's exactly what's happening in this case, where drier, warmer air above the surface puts a cap and puts a limit on thunderstorm development. In fact, when you look at instability heading throughout the day Thursday, it's really hard to get here at home, and it's mostly farther to the south. So some needed rain without damaging weather in the month of May. We'll take it.
Definitely will take that instead of the snow. that they're seeing out west right now. People might be a little angry if they saw that here. So yeah, no severe threat, but there is a WRAL weather alert day in place for tomorrow. Walk us through why that is, Elizabeth.
That's right. So today it's just going to be isolated rain. It shouldn't have a big impact on the evening commute. However, I'm going to show you the models. And the newest run, the computer model, actually is now showing some rain for the commute this evening. So we'll take a look here. This is what's actually happening outside. This is dual Doppler 5000 radar, and you can see some showers from Chatham County into Wake County, and then north of I-85 and along the Virginia line. We'll likely have some more showers in our southern counties, but this is where we're starting off. So beginning to see a little bit of light rain showing up on radar there in Wake County. Sometimes a first push of rain that comes through that's light doesn't reach the ground, so keep our eye on that. We head farther to the north. We're looking at some rain over Roxborough, Henderson, South Hill, and over toward Roanoke Rapids, and this is likely to continue as we head through the next several hours. This is why our cold front back to the west, this is our next weather maker, that will slowly cross the area tomorrow and gradually push off and leave us dry.
DoorDash is rolling out delivery services for Kroger customers using federal food assistance from SNAP and EBT. This will reach nearly 2,700 Kroger locations nationwide and include other chains under the brand, such as Harris Teeter. Benefits can be used to purchase items such as meat, produce, dairy, and other essentials. Kroger joins more than 57,000 stores that accept SNAP through DoorDash. Around 4.5 million Americans use SNAP to buy their groceries on that platform.
Lawn care businesses are ready to rev up for the season, but some companies may add a fuel surcharge for services. Some lawn care companies say the rising fuel prices are cutting into their profits. There's also a global spike in fertilizer costs due to the standoff at the Strait of Hormuz. Some vendors say they can absorb some of the losses for a short time, but if the war continues, they will pass the costs on to homeowners. This may result in some customers cutting back on how often they get their lawn serviced or even investing in an electric mower.
And maybe asking with the HOA, what are y'all doing right
exactly.
now? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, there's much more ahead on WRAL's new news, cracking down on speeding using AI, how the technology could be put to work on local roads.
And urgent evacuation. 3 people suspected of being infected with hantavirus are now off a cruise ship in the Atlantic. Ken Smith and the WRAL Live Center gathering new information about the potentially deadly illness. And here are the winning lottery numbers. We'll be right back.
Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
In an effort to crack down on speeding, lawmakers are pushing for a bill that would require speed devices to be placed into the cars of repeat offenders. They would limit drivers' ability to accelerate over the posted speed limit.
Yes, WRAL's Carly Haynes is live in downtown Raleigh for us. And Carly, you just got a demonstration of how it works. Walk us through it.
That's right. We rode in a car that had one of these devices installed. They're referred to as intelligent speed assistance devices, and they essentially use GPS to determine the posted speed limit of a particular road. This push specifically involves Section 2 of House Bill 1199, and that would require a person who's had their license revoked or limited due to repeat speeding violations to install this device for exactly 1 year. Now, this is a tech that's existed for several years, oftentimes in commercial settings, but this reimagines it for private vehicles.
Part of the install process is we take apart the connection between the gas pedal and the engine. Okay. And our device sits between those two things. So then the device does the calculation that says how fast are they going, what road are they on, should they be allowed to speed in this circumstance.
Now, obviously, there are a lot of questions about how this would be enforced, what happens under extenuating circumstances, and then also the level of government oversight So we asked all of those questions, and you're going to hear those answers on WRAL at 4 and 6 o'clock. Carly Haynes, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Today, the North Carolina Senate is expected to approve a bill that would block counties from applying new appraisals to property taxes. This bill that would block at least a dozen counties from applying new appraisals to property taxes conducted this calendar year. And if approved, it would head to the House for consideration. You can keep up with the bill and how this could change how much you pay in property taxes by watching WRAL all afternoon long and checking the NC Capital section of WRAL.com.
Happening now in the WRAL Live Center, we're following some breaking news concerning this hantavirus hit cruise ship that was just on the screen right a minute ago. These are just some tugboats that's monitoring that ship that's now anchored off the coast of West Africa. Within the last 15 minutes, the World Health Organization reporting hantavirus cases on the ship, now up to 5, including 2 passengers evacuated today. Also, Spain's health ministry confirming the stranded cruise ship will be allowed to dock in the Canary Islands in the next 3 to 4 days. Now, the hantavirus has already killed 3 passengers aboard that ship. The remaining passengers, including some Americans, are quarantined in their quarters and practicing strict safety protocols, including wearing masks and only taking walks alone on that deck. A lot of uncertainty concerning this ship. We'll keep you updated here in the WRAL Live Center.
Something to follow very closely. Thank you, Ken. President Trump is reinstating the Presidential Fitness Test Award. The president signed an executive order bringing back the competitive school-based fitness program. The test awards students who can pass certain athletic requirements. The first was held in 1966 and was phased out during the Obama administration. Critics believe that old tests caused embarrassment and lower self-esteem for students who did not meet high performance standards. Some supporters of the test say that they grew up looking forward to it.
We want to make sure our kids have the best opportunity to succeed in life, and not only from their mind, but their health and their well-being. Their physical fitness is a huge priority to helping them become better human beings in general for our nation.
Education Secretary Linda McMullen says the test will not be mandated by the Education Department.
WakeMed and Atrium Health leaders are trying to clear up what they say are misconceptions about their proposed takeover by Atrium. Atrium Health's $2 billion investment could help make WakeMed more competitive, but it has raised concerns about affordability for patients. That was a point of emphasis that WakeMed's CEO highlighted during a meeting yesterday.
It's going to be tremendous for the people of Wake County to improve access and drive affordability and help close those disparity gaps for all, especially in Southeast Raleigh.
It'll be at least 90 days before the Wake County Board of Commissioners makes a decision on that deal. And as we continue to follow this potential takeover, we asked, why does WakeMed want to deal with Atrium? We explain why and the concerns from state leaders on our WRAL YouTube channel.
A law firm in Baltimore is investigating after a United airplane struck a truck on the New Jersey Turnpike. The father of the driver says it is nothing short of a miracle that his son survived. Kyrie Stewart spoke with the attorney, who says they are nowhere near filing a lawsuit, that they just want the facts.
He described fear, total fear, that he wouldn't walk away from it. He thought that he would be decapitated.
The father of 39-year-old Warren Bortley Jr. talks about the trauma that he says his son is dealing with after a United Airlines flight clipped his son's truck on the New Jersey Turnpike on Sunday. The plane was making an approach to Newark Liberty International Airport when it struck the H&S Bakery truck driven by the father of 2 and a light pole.
He said he seen a flash and it made him duck and throw up his hands. And in doing so, I believe he struck his head, at a real, force.
We know there was blunt force trauma to the head, so we're just going to see, we're praying that that doesn't result in any greater damages.
J. Wendell Gordon is Bortley's attorney and says they're in the fact-finding process right now.
We expect that there's some negligence there because planes just don't drop out of the sky and they just don't ordinarily and routinely hit 18-wheelers traveling along the New Jersey Turnpike.
Gordon says that his office has reached out to United Airlines along with the FAA, the Port Authority, and the National Transportation Safety Board and others. They want a thorough independent investigation.
Was it pilot error? Was it mechanical misfunction? Was it weather? Was it something happened inside of the cabin of the aircraft? Was it air traffic control? We don't know. And that's what we need to know.
That was Kyrie Stewart reporting there. The attorney says United has not acknowledged its plane struck the bakery truck. In fact, communication between the pilots and ground control was recorded. You can hear the pilot ask for a phone number to the non-recorded line to talk about that landing. All right, coming up at 12:30 now, Teacher Appreciation Week. We highlight one Wake County teacher inspiring students through history.
Plus, celebrating Mom. Mother's Day spending is ticking back up this year, but how people can celebrate and what moms actually want varies sharply by generation. We'll take a closer look at the new money habits.
And download the new WRAL weather app and plan ahead for severe weather anytime as we're tracking some rain overnight. Turn on alerts to get notified about severe weather in your location. It is free wherever you download your apps. Well, as we celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week, we're at Wake Forest High School to recognize our Teacher of the Week. Meet an educator with a penchant for superheroes and a passion for history.
There are 30 statements. 12 of them were true of both World War I and World War II.
When Christy Dunn is in her classroom at Wake Forest High with her students,
you only get to highlight 12 numbers.
She feels right at home, sparking her students' interest in history.
I'm a true history nerd. I come from a family of educators, and so I don't think I ever wavered. I knew from the beginning, took a teaching fellow scholarship to Meredith College and been in the classroom ever since.
And not just any classroom. This is the same classroom at Wake Forest High where she did her student teaching more than 20 years ago. No wonder it feels like home.
I have kids now that I taught their parents. So I call them my grandchildren that are coming through now. And that's just, it's a lot of fun to have been in the community this long. You have 1 minute. 1 minute left. You need 12 highlights.
Ms. Dunn is always looking for ways to help her students connect history to their present and future. And every now and then she gets a little assist from the Marvel universe in her classroom.
Anything that you can connect with kids on that's cultural, that just makes it easier to form relationships, and relationships make it easier to lead them in the classroom to what they need.
Ms. Dunn, you are WRAL's Teacher of the Week. Give her a big round of applause. Congratulations.
Thank you. Always the best part. Well, if you would like to nominate a teacher, you can go to WRAL.com and enter Teacher of the Week in the search box.
Brunch, bouquets, and baskets. Just a few gift ideas for Mother's Day. Families are expected to break records this year as they honor Mom. So coming up, how you make Mom smile with gifts she really wants. And scattered showers and storms. Our next weather maker is bringing rounds of rain our way, which is why meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will time out each wave and show you how much of a dent this is going to put into our rain deficit. Well, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and one survey finds that shoppers plan to pay more money to celebrate Mom this year.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting information. Jen Sullivan looks at what's really behind the spending surge and shares last-minute gift ideas.
Happy Mother's Day! Shoppers plan to spend a lot of money this year to make Mom feel special. Mother's Day spending is expected to reach a record $38 billion, according to a survey from the National Retail Federation.
What's clear from these numbers is that mothers hold a special place in our hearts.
Mark Matthews with the National Retail Federation says the group's annual survey found shoppers are planning to spend about $285 on gifts this year. That's about $25 more than last year.
Welcome back. As we wrap things up, let's take a look at a few of the headlines that we are following today. A judge is considering a motion to dismiss a wrongful death lawsuit from the family of 11-year-old Haley Brooks. She was killed during the 2022 Raleigh Christmas parade. The city of Raleigh argues it should have governmental immunity. It also wants 2 city employees removed from that lawsuit, arguing they are not personally liable for the criminal conduct of Landon Glass, who pleaded guilty to the charges last year. The Brooks family attorneys argue the city and those employees were part of the planning and organization of the parade.
Protesters are rallying against Duke Energy outside the governor's mansion this afternoon, and the goal is to put a spotlight on rising power bills and fossil fuel expansion. This protest is happening as regulators approve a merger that could change how electricity is delivered in North Carolina. Demonstrators are demanding Governor Josh Stein take a stronger stance against Duke Energy's plan for a new natural gas plant and delayed coal retirements.
Lawmakers are pushing for a bill that would require speed devices to be placed in the cars of repeat offenders. They would limit drivers' ability to accelerate over the posted limit. It uses GPS to determine that speed limit. Section 2 of House Bill 1199 would require a person who's had their license revoked or limited due to speeding violations to install this device in their vehicle for 1 year. We're asking questions about how it would be enforced, and you can look for those answers during our evening news.
Well, it looks like McDonald's is serving up a new Happy Meal with a side of Demigorgon. McDonald's is debuting its Stranger Things Happy Meal. This is from the Stranger Things Tales from '85 collection. It debuted this week. Each meal comes with a character minifigure from that Netflix series. 11, Mike, Will, and others are going to be among them, including the Demogorgon. The meals celebrate the premiere of the new animated version of the series, and that was following the live-action finale last year. They're going to keep that series going as long as they can, I guess.
As long as they can. They're going to milk it through McDonald's. All right. Well, first responders are accustomed to dangerous situations, but one police officer took a stinky risk to save an animal. A body cam video shows the officer responding to an early morning call in Colorado. Yes, that is a skunk wandering around with a paper cup stuck on its head. After a few attempts to remove the cup with a catch pole, the officer decided to pull the cup off by hand. Once free, it ran off into the distance without spraying the officer. Thank God.
Oh, that's playing with fire there. Well, our pet of the day comes to us from Cat Angel's Pet Adoptions. Benning is a stunning 6-month-old long-haired black beauty with a truly regal presence. There's a photo. She's like a tiny panther with a soft, flowing coat. Benning loves batting the toys, chasing little treasures, and showing off her kitten energy. If this is by chance a cat that interests you, you can go to catangelsnc.org to learn even more about her and to meet her in person.
NBC News Daily is next on WRAL. Your next local news update comes in 30 minutes.
And of course, make sure you get all your breaking news updates and your latest weather reports with the WRAL News app. Hope you have a blessed day today.
Channel 1257.